Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Kalai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper. Last episode, we made some more progress through this place, and managed to make our way to, finding out another quest that involves us having to go over to the Greenway, and we helped out Lem and Mina. In fact, they're very happy about us now. However, before we go over to the Greenway, we have the money for it, I kind of want to do some exploring here with the few points I have and get this uncovered fully. Go ahead. Space or socializing, sure. And if we do it with a 4... Excuse me. You pick up a few tips from spacers waiting for their ships to refuel, though some of their stories seem unlikely to be true. So what else do we have? Key show capsules. The only place to sleep on the hub. Hacked off a colony ship and welded to the ring, they are surprisingly expensive to rent. 48 cryo, not the best. And Bliss. No way, Moritz. You take those substandard filters back to the shitheads who sold you them. You hear the voice echoing out of the bay as you pass, and moments later, someone who you assume is Moritz drifts out with it, dragging a pallet of filter cartridges by a tether. Hey! You out there! The same voice echoes out of the entrance. Looking for work? Ooh, me? Everyone on this station is looking for work. Get in here! The voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She is floating in the microgravity of the docking bay beside a half-deconstructed life support unit that looks like it might have exploded at some point. She points a wrench at in your direction. You know anything about these things? Scratch that, just help me with the casing. Help her. Alright then. She deftly moves around the unit, making space for you beside the central seam in the dented case. Just take a grip here and lift it out and up, and then I can get in and unbolt it. She whacks the unit with the wrench. Whole thing is twisted to shit. You dig your fingers under the casing and lift it away, the metal squealing from the force. She puts her hands under, spinning the wrench to slip out the bolts, catching them in her other hand when they spiral free. All good. The casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles at the mess of ducts and fibers. By the way, everyone calls me Bliss. She pats you on the shoulder, offering little in the way of an explanation. What do you do here? Repairs, fit-ups, tear-downs. Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes. We haggle for contracts, but the good ones get snapped up quick by the bigger bays, so here I am trying to get this M2 unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. Small-time stuff. Hold this. She rips out a ribbed pipe and hands it to you like a freshly caught fish. We turn stuff around fast and neat, and maybe we get a chance landing something bigger. Something starts hissing in the unit, and Bliss quietens it with a precise whack. But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see the other crews licking their lips, ready to take this place over. I'm almost out of luck. What happened? Long story. Some people just can't keep promises. She keeps working, twisting aside pipes with care. There we are! Bliss pulls her hand from deep inside the unit, and out it comes, clutching a lumpen cube scorched black. This thing must have overloaded and popped half of itself out the side. You both duck down to the side of the unit and spot the exit wound, its edges fringed with more scorch marks. Grab me a replacement converter from the racks, will you? Where is it? Bliss is already elbow deep in the unit again. You'll see it. She waves you away. You kick off from the unit and drift over to the wall racks, where a catalog of parts sits secured in clamps. Colored tape and scrawled notes flutter across the wall, a complex organizational system of Bliss's own design. Or just a big mess. You try to pick out the right part. Huh. It's an M2 unit, so... M2 converter. You grab the part and push back to the unit. Bliss holds out an arm and you pass it over, the converter spinning gently as it leaves your hand. Perfect, you passed. She straightens up from the unit. That is, if you want to work here. Bliss rubs her hands clean, looking down at her palms. Truth is, I need a hand here. My partner skipped out on me and left me with a whole mess. You seem like you might at least be better at spotting a clean air filter than Moritz. I'd be happy to. Wait, that's not all of it. My old business partner, they rinsed the place, emptied the accounts. To bid for jobs, we need to put down deposits, bring in parts, pay tug fees. For that, we need chits. You want me to pay for work? To work? Come on, it's not like that. We'd be partners, straight split. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off into the distance. I guess I look pretty stupid. Here I am asking any random passerby to be my business partner. No offense. It is pretty weird. She gives you a sideways look. Don't tease me. Bliss goes back to working on the unit. Look, it's no pressure. You find the money, or you find someone who has, or you just forget the whole thing. Up to you. She gestures for you to help her refit the casing, and you both slot it back into place. I think I'm good to wrap this one up for now. But if you're into it, come back and we can bid on a new contract. Something to get our teeth into. Something that pays. You can trust me. I don't say this stuff lightly. You kick away from the bay, propelling yourself back to the handholds at the entrance. You slip out with a wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. You hear Bliss as you glide down the passageway. Moritz, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean... You smile. Seems like this could be interesting. Okay. It could be. 80 cryo. A scam or an opportunity? Bliss seems solid enough, and this might be your best chance to get in on the hub's repair trade. I feel like we should probably try this later. Once we have more money to spare. I'm gonna use this money to do something profitable. I mean... we need to go to the Greenway. That's with Fang. That's the Greenway. Ashton is in the Greenway. Emphas, we need to roll caps from the Greenway. Bliss, we need money. Lem, we can watch Lem. Spores from the Greenway. Side reel ticket is a massive thing. And Rabaya is Yatagan Enforcer, which I kind of feel like I shouldn't yet. But I can babysit Mina. There you go. By the end of the day, Mina curls up in your lap as you read her a story. She's asleep when Lem gets back and you two eat together. Alright, and with that, we even got back energy, so we can go ahead and rest. And we have enough money right now, we can go over to the Greenway. I think it's time. Let's get to the Greenway and see what we can find. That's a decent mix of things. I'm fine with that. When you mention Ankita, the spacer selling passes smiles. They'll give you a discount on passage to the Greenway. Perfect. A heavily tattooed spacer takes her chits and tells you to prepare. She'll be waiting at the edge for your arrival. Okay, take the ferry across the Founder's Gap to the Greenway. As you step out into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you tumbling down the corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. Sorry. She adjusts a strap on her shoulder, holding up a hand in recognition before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission... They shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Peek! Esh stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Peek raises their eyebrows at you. Esh, please. Do you want everyone on this station to hate us? Esh hardens. They want to hate us, they can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up that damn cordon. Cordon? Peek gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you are talking about. This station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. I'm not saying they are part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction. But I am saying we need to get these supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. The Briar? That's our ship, Peak explains. Peak? What are you doing? We're with the refugees, the ones Havenage have cordoned off from entering the station. Ash interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the Eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk, and are running out of supplies while their right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. She's right. People are trapped out there, and we understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. She holds up a hand to stop Esh interrupting. But... Esh turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. That's terrible. Esh looks back at you, her fierceness fading. Peak? Please. Esh gathers herself and the supplies. Esh, we need help. Just like the refugees needed us, we need others too. They smile at her. Peak turns to you. Come find us. The climbing briars docked at the broken spoke past the Greenway in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Esh turns to leave and Peak follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Esh shouts down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner, Esh already picking up speed as Peak calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. Founder's Ferry. Okay, that goes back. Looks like we got the Greenway here. Let's see. Map... going green. Exploring the Greenway is unlike any other place on the Eye. Its overgrown chambers defy mapping. Rather than simply thrash through the undergrowth, you might sketch a map of this overgrown jungle to try to better navigate its hazards. Or, the simplest way to explore the Greenway is simply to pick a path and set off into its twisting chambers and passages. This carries obvious risks. But if I do that twice with a positive result, we get this complete. That's definitely a good thing. Fang is here. Haifa Commune. The only way to become part of the commune is to work your way in through long service. It isn't for anyone. We can work the canteen. Newcomers to the commune can work within the canteen, preparing and serving food for those that make the compound their home. Or work the grow beds. The grow beds are at the heart of the commune, feeding the members and fueling their lab work. You are invited to assist in maintaining them. Interesting. Wild Margins. Ah, this is tracking Ashton. Ankita seems to think Ashton is out here at the wild edge of the Greenway. Time to see if that's true. We can search for individuals. Rather than hiking around the wilderness, you can make use of your skills, tap into the cloud, and find Ashton by his signals, or look for tracks. Seems like the obvious way to track someone, but in this overgrown tangle, the simple task suddenly becomes difficult. Okay. Over here we have the wastes. Out here at the edge of the habitable parts of the Eye, everything is scrap. The trick is finding components that are still usable and staying safe. So this spot is a good source of scrap. That'll be good. And all the way out here... Ooh. Supply Girolles. Esh asks you to bring supplies, and fragrant eye-grown Girolle caps seem like the perfect thing to impress her. Welcome to Episode Flux. It's the first of 3 episodic updates to Citizen Sleeper telling the story of a refugee flotilla which has arrived at the Eye. All 3 episodes, Flux, Refuge, and Purge, are now available. Completing the supplied Girolles action will begin the episode, but be aware that it is intended for late-game play. Meaning we come back later. And that's the edge of the Eye here. Alright, well... Looks like, Feng is here to talk to us, so let's speak to Feng. When you enter the service dock, Feng is already set up, crouched among stacks of equipment. He's leaning over a terminal, bathed in a blue glow. He looks totally at home. Sleeper! What do you think? Turns out not everyone in Havenage is set against me. A couple of my old systems pals managed to ship me some of my old gear. He gestures at the pile of blinking hardware. Nice kit. Feng does a mock bow. Any updates? Feng beckons you over. He has a set of scans of the wastes on his terminal with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange marks. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Feng shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Hardin has got a crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them in piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly out here. Why? They're planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin masked this whole thing as an effort to clean up the waste, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. And why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Havenage knows another corporation is setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The wastes are cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the Greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out. We can't hack them? We can't from here. He turns and winks. That's why I'm gonna pay them a visit. Too risky. You forget. Havenage come in and out of there all cycle. I should be able to get in. As long as no one I know sees me. He grimaces playfully. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access. But if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in their network and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility buried deep down there. Miles of corridor and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars, so it'll take more than a few cycles to work through it. But as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out there. He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they'll feed their data threads back into the system that they're tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes I ping to locate the ports for the security system, then slot the worms in those systems and let them go to town. He points to a fuzzy silhouette of the buried facility on the terminal. Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry their perimeter systems and get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank, you need to break in and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can. And if I can't? Feng gives you a hard look. You miss a system, you wait too long, they're gonna find me. Simple as that. He claps you on the shoulder. I need you focused on this one, so I'm going to let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot that first worm. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress. He affectionately pats the top of the screen. This sounds risky. Risky? This is audacious at least. Wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't. Feng gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations and slot that worm. Just don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. It can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that. Oh, and one last thing. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. What? You take whatever I've managed to pull at that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. He points to a pile of servers and terminals, hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whatever you put in it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Havenage, Yatagan, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Hardin isn't snaking away this time. He grins. I got a bit more to do here, But the moment you slot that first worm, I'll make my move. He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit as you make your way out of the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. It's gonna be a challenging one. I assume it's a hack we need to do way up here. Or somewhere. Oh, Conway access. Slotting this first worm will allow Fang access into the facility. You'll need to be ready to give this all your attention. It'll be 4 things. That's rough. Wow. When he said this was dark, he was not kidding. But we have the Greenway gate. The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? Let's take a look. The cipher burns away as it is slotted, the data sparking like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? The Greenway roils beneath you like a silt-choked river. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The Hunter and Killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in, the entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in the one open, distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, this process, this swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. 1 billion individuals moving in a flow. There is no network map here, no nodes and threads. Only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them. A figure turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. They are facing away. At least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown, that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process, as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud back to the leaves and the dappled light of the Greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. A seed? Gardener's seed. You need to find somewhere safe to plant this gift. Well, this is unusual. Okay, well, since we have 2 5s, I think I can easily walk the Greenway in order to get this fully explored without a problem. I think next cycle will focus on Fang. There we go! You find your way onto a well-kept pathway between encampments where carefully planted groves provide fungus and vegetables. New dryad discovered. Interesting. So let's see. Farm stacks. We can steal the harvest. There's loads of food here. Why should these farmers keep it to themselves? If you can do it quickly, they might not even notice it's gone. If you get caught stealing, there's no way you'll be able to work on the stacks. As simple as that. We can work the stacks. Some farm stacks from the old station have survived, and the farmers that work them are always looking for new workers. They pay by yield. Nice. And the farming collective who control the stacks don't like to sell their food piecemeal, but for the right price, they'll let it go. Alright. Mushroom groves. We can collect spores. While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather or study these species in an untouched form. Or, the fungus that grow in the deep groves of the Greenway are typically avoided, but those with sharp eyes might find useful fruiting bodies. And the aviary. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with gene-tweaked birds, now this chamber is a mess of overgrowth. You can change that. We can cut away the choking vines, stop the rot, and this place could be turned back into a garden of sorts. 4 perfect rolls would be very nice. Okay. We can also explore the wild margins a bit, which... Oh, right, that's tracking Ashton. I don't want to focus on that quite yet. We can do some here. Become Haifa members. Seems simple. That gains us energy. What if we work the grow beds? That's 1 point, unfortunately, but we did get a point. Alright, I'm gonna new drive discovered. Okay, wow, we have so many drives right now. Okay, we gotta head back for a moment. Money is something we're gonna need. So I can hack one of these. Not you. Not you. Havenage agent. Oh, damn it. I didn't mean to right-click there. Got it. And I can give this Havenage data in. Where is it? Oh, right, it's under data. And that'll do. And I will take a rest. And I will end this episode here. Next episode will help Fang get his information. This is going to be a big focus that we need to get done, but get it done we shall. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, Arsenius Fly. This has been a Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper, and I shall see you all next time.